We now move to item 14.7, and we have a speaker, is that correct?
4.17, I believe.
4.17 is what I said.
No,
is there a speaker in relation to this matter, General Mayor? Mr. Jenkins, would you like to address council, please? 3 minutes would be appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and councillors. This address is in relation to the Property Advisory Committee. It has been meeting since 5th of March 2019 with Councillor Zach Miles as its chair and the General Manager, Ms. Campbell, on the committee. The committee adopted a charter in October 2019 that required declarations of pecuniary and non-pecuniary interests at meetings, and that members' personal interests or the interests of any associated person are not to conflict with the interests of the council or the community. The charter also requires the committee and its council staff to keep minutes of meetings that are then confirmed and reported as soon as practicable to a subsequent council meeting. It is the obligation of the chair and the general manager to ensure that this is done in a timely fashion. No minutes of meetings were in fact reported to council from this committee between the 16th of October 2019 to now, the minutes appearing for the first time at this council meeting, the 19th of April of 2021. This is confirmed in the agenda in these simple words. Due to an administrative oversight, the minutes had not been formally reported to council. End of quote. Now, this is unsatisfactory to say the least. It is only by the reporting of minutes that the community can find out what a committee is doing and what it is recommending to the council. One might ask, is there a conflict of interest on this committee that should appear in the minutes? Because there's a section there for the minutes to deal with that. Councillor Zach Miles, the chair of the Property Committee, has been employed for the last 3 years by Wholecap, an alternative provider of finance to property developers and commercial real estate borrowers. Before that, he was for 6 years a political lobbyist with First State Advisors and then Cornerstone Group, whose clients included property developers. He has not declared any conflict of interest in the minutes. This committee may be looking at rezoning of land, increased heights and densities of developments, including residential, selling or developing public land, and the like.
Councillor Sanderson, Councillor Miles, put the motion. All those in favour? Very carried unanimously.
The minutes now presented, which we can see for the first time in the papers, have a number of quotes, amongst many others, various options for redevelopment, need to resolve ownership issues surrounding the Crown land, preliminary financial analysis of the viability of each site, and 4.75 million in public legacy funding pending the outcome of the grant application. What grant application? Both Zach Miles and Ben Collins are endorsed Liberal councillors on Hunters Hill Council. They are both on this property committee. They are both obliged to follow the directions and policies of the Liberal Party.
Further extension. Councillor Sanderson, Councillor Miles. The motion. All those in favour? Against? Very carried.
Many members of the local community feel that you can't serve two masters in local government. You should only have one master as a councillor to pursue the needs and aspirations of the local community, the public interest, and the public good. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Councillor Miles.
Jenkyn, are you aware of Councillor Mark Bennett on his work history?
Yes, I think he was a psychologist. No, not that I knew of. Oh, well,
Now, the other
you would probably know.
Committee, people like Max McFarlane. Do you know Max McFarlane?
I have met Max McFarlane.
Do you
Yeah.
know what he does for you?
Provides finance, I think.
Finance too.
I don't know, developers, I suppose.
Property developers.
Right, okay.
Do you know what Mr. Wilson Wise does?
No,
He's a member of the committee.
not really, no.
Do you know Mr. Wilson Wise?
No.
No. Well, he works for a developer. You know Mr. Paul McBurney, who's a member of the committee?
I don't.
No? Do you know
No.
what he does for a living?
No,
No, he's a valuer in the property industry. You know what Sean O'Toole does? He's a member of the committee.
are these all councillors on the council?
But the members of the committee.
Yeah, but they're not councillors on the council.
Do you know what was the profession of Mayor Ross Williams?
Yes, he worked for the public service.
What does he do now?
I think he's a councillor.
He's a consultant, providing consultancy, environmental consultancy.
Oh, is he?
He's on the committee. As is every other councillor around this table. Did you know that?
Well, I know that they've turned up at recent times, yes.
They're all members of the committee. Did you know that?
I know that Councillor Williams and Councillor Sanderson are.
And Councillor Crassoy.
And Crassoy's been there from the beginning. That's right, yeah.
That's all I was have to ask.
Yes, well, I repeat my words that I put to the council.
Councillor Collins, you have a question.
So you're saying at the beginning of the meetings that councillors should declare their political party, even though it's quite clear and in the public, at the beginning of every meeting, they should declare belonging to a party as in the public interest.
That's what the charter says. The charter says that you declare an interest.
So
At the start of each meeting, there's a section there, and I think you're asked, do you declare an interest? And the interest is, for example, that if you belong to a political party, let's call it the Labor Party or the Liberal Party, you have, when you become endorsed, you actually agree to abide the directions of the party and follow its policies. The point I'm making is when you're a councillor, you are supposed to follow the needs and aspirations of the community. And in my view, the public interest and the public good. Now, quite clearly, there will be times when that conflicts. It conflicted, as Councillor Zach Miles knows, very much during the forced amalgamations issue. And
I think we're getting off track.
well,
That
yeah, I'm
answers
answering
my
a question,
to you.
if you're unhappy with it, I'll stop.
I have another question, if I may.
Councillor Collins.
Mr. Jenkyn, so it seems like you've got a fixation on the Liberal Party. Are you aligned to a particular party yourself?
No, I'm not.
At all?
No,
Do you
I'm not.
support any party?
I don't support.
Have you supported one in the past?
I think very early on,
Have you supported the Shooters Party?
no, I haven't.
Really?
But I did.
Can I, if I just
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Collins, resume.
Let me
Okay,
finish.
that's fine.
I will reveal a little secret to you,
Yeah,
Councillor
sure.
Collins,
Sure.
if you'd like to know.
Yeah.
I can remember when a young Anthony Roberts first became the Liberal member. A young Anthony Roberts became a Liberal member of Parliament for this area. And he was running against, I think, the Labor Party, who'd been in office a long time. And he was seeking donations for his campaign. And I thought, what a nice young man this Mr. Roberts appears to be. I think the Labor Party policies and actions don't warrant my support. So I actually made a donation to him. So you can go and ask him that question. I support political parties who've got good policies and genuine people who are running for them. And so I vary. I don't follow one party or the other, but I support good parties that actually listen to the community and do the right thing by the public interest.
May I ask, did you support the Shooters Party at the Orange by-election in 2016? Did the Shooters Party have good policies? Giving guns to 12-year-olds?
No, the Shooters Party probably didn't have good policies in quite a number of areas. I supported the fact that unlike the Liberal Party, the Shooters Party actually believed that forced amalgamations was a bad policy. And they actually did that in Orange, got up and supported the fact that the community did not want, and indeed forced amalgamations. And indeed, so strong was that case in Orange that their member got elected. I think the first time that the Liberal Party had ever lost a seat that was its favourite seat that it had kept for years, it lost it to the Shooters and Fishers Party.
With your assistance?
No. I was making it very clear. No, you listen to what I have to say with respect. The fact is that the Liberal Party and the National Party have lost a lot of support over forced amalgamations. And the Shooters and Fishers came along and had a very good candidate who was saying this is a wrong policy, and they supported him. And the group that I belong to, which is non-party political, had taken a very strong view against the Liberal Party and National Party's policy of forced amalgamations. And
well, I think it's my question's not really been answered. It's been clarified now that Mr. Jenkyn supports the Shooters Party.
I can go all night, Mr. Mayor, but
yeah, I'd like to table these for the minutes, actually.
No,
Yes, I would like to table
they're
these.
not relevant.
I've tabled these documents. They should be included.
What's the relevance?
The relevance is that this is a political stunt by Mr. Jenkyn, who is I won't call it an unhealthy obsession, but there is certainly a strong indication to attack the Liberal Party at any opportunity.
Well,
and he hasn't declared that he
Collins,
supports the Shooters Party.
Councillor
and I have,
Collins,
in fact, Mr.
Councillor
Mayor,
Collins.
you're in this photo too. Did
Councillor
you support
Collins.
the Shooters at the 2016?
Councillor Collins, point of order.
Okay.
We're talking about the property committee here. Mr. Jenkins has given his presentation and answered questions to the best of his ability. If there's any further questions
I have a question.
it's got to be relevant to the matter at hand, which is the property committee.
When you were a barrister, did you what sort of law did you practice? Who were your clients? Were they developers? Did you ever act for a developer?
What's the relevance of it?
I'll answer it this way, Councillor Collins. I actually lectured for the Real Estate Institute in law at the university. So I actually knew people on the Real Estate Institute very well. And I knew that there are many people who belong to that institute who are professional and who do a good job. So I have no thing against development, good development, adaptive reuse, and I value highly those developments of the past, which we now acknowledge to be of heritage value, of which this municipality has many.
Okay, that concludes the.
Can I just table my very short 3-minute speech?
No, I'm not accepting that irrelevant.
Well, I'm tabling it.
Well, you're not
I'm
accepting.
entitled to table it.
I'm not accepting because it's not relevant to the debate.
Well, I believe it is.
It's not today. It's not. Are there any, is there a motion in relation to this matter?
I'll move the motion, Mr. Mayor.
There a seconder? Is there any further, do you wish to speak to your motion?
Mr. Mayor, fairly self-explanatory.
Further debate? If not, put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Declare it carried.